Hey there, beautiful people. Just Michael here. Just finished a week long workshop with a great speaker, a great communicator, a great inspiration, a great person, and a all around great leader in my eyes, uh, by the name of Nick San Tenastaso. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. It's quite long. It's not too sure. Anyway, the workshop is titled "Unleash Your Story," and the whole concept is to tell your story to get your message out there to as many people as possible, as often as you can, because you never know who might need it. You never know who's listening. You never know who your message might help. So uh, here's my story. Um, I I was born in well, I was born overseas. Uh, I was born in Taiwan. Moved to Canada when I was about 4 or 5. Growing up for me was rather challenging. Um, I'm I was constantly bullied as a kid, for many reasons, for having a speech impediment, for being too skinny, for a whole bunch of reasons. As a kid, wasn't able to I was not able to make a whole lot of friends. The few friends I did make, they weren't really friends, because um, every year on my birthday, I would plan birthday parties, and I would invite the few friends I was able to make, and every year none of them showed up. Uh, and so for a for a 8-year old to invite people who you saw as friends, who you thought were your friends, and then have them not show up, kind of hurts. And so on top of that, I was not only bullied, but I, as a result of bullying and as a result of a few other things, I fell into depression, severe depression, for a very long time. I was Well, at the age of 12, I was sexually molested by a stranger. Um, I I can still to this day recall rather vividly. I can I still cannot it I still cannot remember the person's face, but I can recall pretty much everything else. But at the age of 12, I was sexually molested by a complete stranger, and because of that, and on top of bullying, I fell into depression. And as a way of coping with depression, um, and as a result of being bullied, as a, I developed a tendency to people please, because due to the bullying and my depression, I lacked self worth. I lacked self esteem, self confidence. I wanted people to accept me, wanted people to like me. So I developed a habit of people pleasing, doing stuff for others, because I equated my value, my worth, to what I did for others. So that at first, uh, that at first worked, um, but as but now, looking back at it, I just I had oh I did the best I could with with the information I had at the time, with the level of knowledge I had at the time, with the resources I had at the time. Um, the the flip side of this is that at the age of 15, I was introduced to a church youth group through a friend of mine, and at the age of 15, through this church youth group, um, once or twice a month, I would go and feed the homeless. I would go and help the less fortunate. I would do this through the church youth group, with the church youth group, and this doing this, like, it made me happy. It brought it started as an activity I did with a church youth group. Just it started as just a thing I did once or twice a month, just to just to uh, be around peers. But as time went on, as I grew, it became something I looked forward to. When I got my first job, uh, every every single paycheck, I would I would dedicate $20 to feeding a random homeless person. Doesn't matter if it's a hot dog, a burger, a, a slice of pizza, or whatever. So I've been doing this for about 20 years now, over 20 years, and all the while battling depression, all the while battling intrusive thoughts of my own. Um, it got to the point um, where I contemplated throwing in the towel completely, just giving up. Uh, contemplated twice, contemplated ending it twice by the time I was 19. Uh, I recall vividly, clearly, sitting in my living room, holding a chef's knife, asking myself, thinking to myself, do I want it to be fast or slow? And then I sat there for 45 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes, just looking at the knife. I didn't go through with it, obviously. I put the knife back both times without incident. But since then, I've learned quite a lot. Learned that depression is a silent killer. Those battling depression, uh, some you can tell they're dealing with something, and others you can't. Uh, Not everyone who battles depression is is the is the quiet person wearing all black, sitting in the corner, uh, keeping to themselves and just with their head down. Sometimes the person battling depression could be the happiest person in the room. Uh, Depression is a silent killer. Depression, much like alcoholism, has no cure. Just because a person does not have a drink one day does not mean that they'll relapse the next day or next week or next month. Just because a person does not have intrusive thoughts one day doesn't mean that it won't happen uh, the next day or next week or next month. Um, I still from time to time to the I still from time to time deal with like issues with self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. It's not as severe as it used to be. Um, I'm actually very proud of myself right now because I never thought that I I'd make it this far. Um, I used to have a huge speech impediment as a kid, and um, I worked on it not through speech therapy, but by taking sales jobs, by taking co- commissioned sales jobs, uh, to put myself out there, to get myself more comfortable, more confident talking to strangers. Uh, I still stammer from time to time, still stutter, but it's not as severe as it used to be. Uh, so there, what keeps me going? Um, I know I'm bouncing back and forth here. What keeps me going is hope. Hope that tomorrow will be better, and determination to make it better. Uh, the trying to trying to um, trying to get into the habit of being in competition with the person I used to be, being in competition with myself. Um, so doing things that scare me, going on going on Facebook Live, going on Instagram Live, going on YouTube Live, talking to people, talking to strangers, being open to ooh, sharing my story with complete and total strangers, unleashing my story, hoping that it, it might help someone else. Um, there's a few things that come to mind. One is a quote by the late comedian Robin Williams. Um, the saddest people are usually the ones who are doing everything they can to make sure everyone else is taken care of because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless and they don't want anyone else to go through what they went through. That I believe is true. Um, that uh, I resonated with that for a good portion of my life. I lived it. I did everything I could to make sure everyone else is good, even at the expense of myself. And at the end, it just left me drained. Um, so, right now, at this point in my life, I'm just focusing on me. Uh, Not to be selfish, but if I'm not good, I'm useless to everybody else. So I'm focusing on me, so I can show up better for somebody else, for the people in my life. Um, so anyway, this is my first time going live on YouTube. Um, so hopefully, I'll be going live every day, if not if every other day or every week, and hopefully, uh, I'll have a new story or a new thought of the day. Uh, my intention and goal with this is to become a is to through sharing my story, through sharing my experiences, to help others, to let other people know if you're going through something, you're not alone. We're all going through something. Some of us are just too proud too uh, too proud, too egotistical, too scared to actually ask for help, because we're taught it's because we're taught that weakness is a bad thing. That that showing signs of weakness, it, it will get you exploited. Being vulnerable will get you exploited. Well, I'd say being vulnerable is being human. Human beings are designed flawed. We're naturally imperfect creatures. We experience a wide range of emotions, um, everywhere from being depressed to anxiety to fear to happiness to elation to bliss and peace. We experience it. We experience it all in our own ways and on our own time. So my intention is to share my story, share my thoughts of the day with with you, and hopefully hopefully you get something out of it.